On behalf of Pen Wonders International, today we are with yet another scintillating session of Words and Faces. Today I have with me Hira Nawaz, Mildred Par, and Shama Prasad sir, along with his wife Dr. Ganga Lakshmi Patnaik. I welcome you all to this wonderful session. With me, I have my very good friend and an excellent poet, Vandana Oak. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, dear poet.
Good evening, dear.
Ciao.
So today we have a session where each one of you will be narrating a poem that's very close to your heart, a poem that's touched your life. So I would like to invite Hira Nawaz ma'am to narrate her poem to us.
Thank you. Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes,
Am I audible?
absolutely.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes. Thank you so much, Suvira. Should I give a short introduction of myself?
Yes, sure, please.
Yes. Good evening, everybody. My name is Miss Hira Nawaz, and I am a teacher, writer, and poetess by profession. I am from Bengaluru, the beautiful city, the garden city of India, which is in the south of India. I've been a teacher for many years, and I've won many best teacher awards for my quality of teaching in various international schools in Bengaluru. I am also a writer, having worked for Jewelry Magazine and having written for several newspapers. But my most favorite genre of writing is poetry. I write both rhyming and non-rhyming poetry, and am a very keen member of many poetry groups in social media. I've taken part in several poetry writing competitions by several international groups, and I have won many prizes, awards, and certificates. I am on the poetry review panel of Haven International, and I have interviewed several poets and poetesses globally. But my most favorite form of poetry writing is after the poetry writing to take part in open mic and to take part in poetry recitations where I try to speak as an English teacher with as much expression, diction, and best tonality as I can. But I think all these qualities will be futile if a person does not have kindness. Kindness is a very important quality. As Maya Angelou rightly said, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. So, having said so much, I'll recite my poem entitled Don't Cry, Mom. Now, this poem which I'm going to recite is actually a true story of my friend Mrs. Anita John Ninan, whose daughter Tamara died of cancer at the tender age of 13. Now, Tamara was diagnosed with cancer, and she subsequently, after a few months, she died. And she's pretending that she is I'm Tamara, and I'm writing from heaven. And then I'm telling my mom, I'm looking down from heaven, and I'm seeing my mother in the room crying and crying. So I'm telling my mom, don't cry, mom. And I've written this poem giving the feelings and emotions of a cancer patient and how she felt to comfort her mother after she has died. Mummy, darling, dearest, don't sit all cooped up on the sofa and cry. I am your lovely and feisty daughter Tamara, who unfortunately, by a quirk of fate, was destined to die. Yes, the culprit was the cancerous carcinoma that ebbed my strength, enfeebled me, and made me weak. It slashed my spirit and vociferously sapped my energy, making me, when alive, dread my future so bleak. I remember the day I rushed to you with a headache, which persisted and which never quite went away. At last, you took me to doctors, specialists, and experts. But really, mommy, cancer is too high a price to pay. The cold, dampening diagnosis obsessed my mind as I remember staying at hospital and leaving school. Me, who had always been the erudite and studious bookworm, but now being destined to just be nobody's fool. Mummy, remember how you tried your optimum best to ease, alleviate, and relieve my excruciating pain. But alas, every sickness has its dose of sordid suffering, while my emotions and feelings began to wax and wane. Chemotherapy and radiation were two treatments that sapped me of my strength and gradually eclipsed my life. I tried the philosophy when I realized that my life was doomed. Mommy, I will never be a girlfriend. I will never be a wife. My dry, dull hair began to fall from my head in woolly clumps, making me bald at last, but itching and burning to fiercely fight until I realized that I was fighting a losing battle, for I had no resistance. I had become obese and now was a dismal sight. Mummy, the hours and minutes are flying past irretrievably. Soon there will be the syndrome of the empty nest, which implied that children will flee their parents' home. Really, mommy, I really tried hard, but failed the deciding test. Mommy, tell Johan not to be heartbroken and sad, for he is my one and only erstwhile blood brother. He has to live and savor his full earthly term, while we'll have to pretend that we always have each other. From heavens, I now see you wish the long, long days away, urging me to somehow miraculously return home. Well, here I am sending you heartwarming messages that you've got dad in your, and figuratively, you're not alone. Mummy, my headaches were wrenching and unbearable. Promise me, Mummy, that for my sake you will be strong. So when a flood of tears threatens to overwhelm you, take a beautiful Jesus Christ hymn and sing. Sing along. Thank you. That's my first poem, yes.
It's a very gut-wrenching poem. What say, Vandana?
Yeah, I have no words, Miss Hira. I have always been a fan of your poetry because you write from the heart. Your words are simple, your language is simple, but very inspiring, always a message hidden. And this poem, it is more than plight of the mother crying, it is plight of the girl who has departed her home, the world. and she had so many dreams, which she left, which were unfulfilled. So, I have no words. Beautifully captured, and what a note to the departed soul, Hira ma'am.
Thank you
Kudos
so
to you
much.
for penning
Thank you.
such a poem. I mean, I can really visualize the daughter narrating this from the heaven where she is, and how painful her journey has been. Uh, uh, Coming over to our next guest, Dr. Ganga Lakshmi ma'am, can you please narrate a poem that's very close to you? Ma'am, you're not audible.
Hello.
You're mute.
Hello, ma'am.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Ma'am.
Hi.
Hello.
Good evening. I am Dr. Ganga Lakshmi Patnaik, Odisha, in profession, a professor in English literature, working in higher education. It's an honor and a great pleasure to be here to share this defining moment with you all. We get a good gathering for recitation purpose to achieve a common goal and would like to share a poem. Before presenting the poem Solitude, I would like to convey that this poem is a satire where the poet criticizes people's foolish for their love of solitude. Some people love to stay lonely, and solitude is a blessing for them. But it's a wrong idea because staying lonely is a curse. Social isolation leads to stress, and loneliness negatively affect physical as well as mental health. Now I would like to recite poem Solitude. All the ropes of relationship link get tangled, confronted. All the ropes of relationship link get tangled, confronted. Long treasured griefs appear to make a erudite enlightened. Long treasured griefs appear to make us erudite enlightened. The butterflies of my wishes inclination move flounder about. The butterflies of my wishes inclination move flounder about. Here words lost their sight, silences stillness becomes bright. Here words lost their sight, silences stillness become bright. Laugh world laughs with you weep alone. Sing hills will answer, sigh it's lost in peace. Sing hills will answer, sigh it's lost in peace. Let me live unseen, unknown, unlamented. Let me die. Let me live unseen, unknown, unlamented. Let me die. Take from earth not a stone where I lie. Take from earth not a stone where I lie. Now my recitation is over. Thanks, dear poets. Just one point. Let me speak to you. If you are happy living alone, then there is no loneliness. It gives you confidence that you can do what you really want to do. Thanks. Now this is the end of my recitation.
Ma'am, is there an issue?
I finished.
Madam, I have completed the poem.
Okay, thank you so much. That was a really beautiful poem. Solitude, very well explained about solitude. Vandana, what say?
Yes, absolutely, Suvira and ma'am, the preface you gave for the poem that yes, solitude is good, but you told us the side effects also, which enhanced your poem more. You know, the flip side of solitude you explained beautifully in the preface, and yes, to enjoy what I feel as a poet, to enjoy solitude, you must live in chaos so that you can enjoy and relish the solitude. But if it is only solitude, like everything else, it becomes, disturbing, like chaos. So that is my point of view to your poem. Beautifully written, like always, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Congratulations for penning such a beautiful poem. Now we have with us Mildred, ma'am. Ma'am, would you please recite a poem that's something that's close to you? Good evening.
Good evening to everyone, and thank you very much for the opportunity given to me to recite my poem. I just wrote this recently because I thought that I don't have much time, school and my dad with me. My dad is aging, and with all these things, I don't have much time. You see, he's calling perhaps. So I'll be reciting my poem. The title is I Almost Lost My Poetry to Reality. I used to romanticize their poetry, moments when I beautify the ugly and sensualize the mundane, all in respect to dear poetry. But reality dawned on me in a moment of intense perplexity. I can now feel the anguish to the bitter truth tenaciously. Reality now biting at my tongue, a vicious, sickening feeling, challenging me to throw the towel, but never will I lose the power. Nothing can wrestle with my muse, still his surfaces, never to be beaten. My imageries, metaphors linger, whoa, till my next romance with poetry. So I've written this poem because I thought I'm losing my poetry to reality, really, because of too many concerns. I really love poetry and really love writing, but reality is there's so much time to be given, to be devoted to my loved ones. Thank you very much again for the opportunity given to me.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Vandana?
Yes, Mildred, ma'am, you write beautifully. We always read you on the forum, and your thoughts, resonate with every poet on the group, I'm sure, because whatever time we get, because we are not, all of us, not professional poets or writers, only for the love of literature and language we are writing. So keeping all the constraints in balance, we pen down our poetry, our poems, or whatever prose we write. So you have beautifully written your feelings, and they resonate.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for being with us.
Can we go ahead with Shyama Prasad, sir? Good evening, sir.
Sir, I think you have too many instruments or gadgets at the same time.
I have muted because two persons are attending the Zoom simultaneously.
Yeah.
Both are attending, spouse and myself.
Yes.
That's the problem, and I have muted her now.
Yes.
Okay. So can we begin?
Hello. Good evening,
Yeah.
everyone. Good evening, Subira
Good evening, sir.
and Bandana.
Good evening, sir. Very good evening.
I owe my respect to Pramod Gangadharan, Chairman, and Loy Monroe, and entire team of Pen Wonders International. Actually, I am a member since last 1 year and writing not frequently. Occasionally, I am writing. And some of my poems are published in magazines. So, now I am going to present my poem. Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Clear,
Yes, sir.
nice and clear.
Yeah, the caption of my poem is Poetry, My Healing Balm. Caption is Poetry, My Healing Balm. Weaving twigs to construct nest, protecting family from rain, cyclone, and lightnings. My poems invoke boundless confidence in me as healing balm of worries. Forget my meal whenever sit down to scribble ballads of emotional verses. Burn midnight oil and traverse through the lens of my imaginary dreams. Bard of my emotions, you evoke to chiming bells of far-off churches. Relaxing in the lakeside floral garden beneath beaming moon, amidst jasmine blossoms. In witching hours, stargazing from balcony, perceives imaginary and airy realms. In the golden dawn, rising glorious sun evokes verses of spiritual feelings. Floral blossoms, cool zephyr, and spring's whispering reeds reverberate my emoting vocabularies. Mellow fruitfulness of spring paints panorama of my poetic expression and emotions. My mind glides through blue azure like a giant high soaring albatross. Beautiful and glamorous earth's flora and fauna enhances my skills and elegance. Drizzling rain drops falling on leaves of giant banyan tree doubles palpitations. Earthy scents of sands in maiden rain gathers euphorial and romantic bliss. Uniform chorus acoustics by giant frogs under yam leaves synchronize musical lyrics. And that is the end of my poem. I have personified the entire poets, all the poets in my poem. Thank you, ma'am. That's the end of my recitation.
A beautiful poem, sir. Very, very well composed, Vandana. Isn't it? As always, sir's poems are very poignant.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible, Suvira?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, Vandana, you're audible.
Because I could hardly hear sir and I am not able to hear you at all. I don't know, some problem at my end.
But I must say, sir, it was a very beautiful poem. The personifications were very well described in your poem. And I must say, when we read your and ma'am, everybody's poem on the forum, we're very, very happy. I mean, it brings a smile to our face, these compositions. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, for gracing our show today and making this episode a huge success. I mean, I thank from the bottom of my heart on behalf of the entire team of Pen Wonders International.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
madam.
you very much, madam,
Thank you.
for appreciating my poem.
Yes,
Vandana?
yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Right.
Thank you, sir. And I would really be delighted if you will share this poem on the forum page also, Facebook page, if you have not already.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay, that will in our Pen Wonders International page itself. I will share it.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for gracing the show. I'm very happy with meeting all of you, and next weekend again we look forward to another episode with faces across the globe sharing their composition with us. Thank you, everyone. Bye, everybody. Stay safe. Take care.
Okay.
Thank you,
bye.
dear poet, for making
Bye.
Okay, good night.
Yes.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.